on how action-packed it is going to be. Do you go dead into the center and look for those kills as fast as possible? You know, based on the jump leader here's priority, I'm going to say that is kind of the thought process here for this squad. It looks like possibly on the back half of bunker. Not actually bunker, excuse me. I forgot what the name of this corridor is. Yes, market. There you go.
This is the most like FPS arena feeling area of the map to me. This feels like a Call of Duty map.
Yeah, I completely agree, but the one thing I will pose is that anybody with territorial zone control abilities really thrive in this environment just because of how many kind of tight corridors there are. There is a little bit of an open section, but they all lead to an escape route within the section compared to, again, some of those smaller areas. It does look like the boys here really have not been pressured when it comes to the drop, and it's going to be a full market over them.
Oh, the legendary skin on the Prowler. I love it. Pull the Prowler back out.
Is it the one with the angel wings?
Yeah, it's almost like I can't tell which torpor or which type of ancient history it kind of comes from. It like almost wants to be Egyptian, but it's kind of like a neo-Egyptian.
It's like Egyptian Art Deco.
Yeah.
It feels very Paladin-esque to me, right? It's like the Lightbringer or something like that, right? It feels so like, you know, Uther walked out of nowhere and was like, this is it.
Yeah.
Slide jump.
It's have you seen the other legendary one for the Prowler? The one that's it's the same thing but like covered in barnacles. It's like it's a ship. It's like you took that skin and you just threw it in the ocean.
Like probably what the Leviathan legs look like.
Yeah, exactly.
Full of that. Like that's straight up what your Prowler looks like. That's wild.
That's cool.
Papega.
Cool there. So we talked a lot about the game, kind of introducing it in Europe, and we might have a lot of new viewers here watching in North America who are just tuning in for the first time, hearing about Apex. It's only 8 days old. It's definitely possible there are people that have not heard about this game yet. And right now we got Shroud playing a character named Bangalore. How do characters work in a battle royale?
So specifically for Apex Legends, when the developers decided to create this game, specifically the two character designers that you know we got to make sure we give credit to, Griffin Dean and Steve DeRose, when they created these characters, they wanted to create something that the community could connect to within the Titanfall universe, but more importantly, they wanted to create something that you could feel helped you, but didn't necessarily take over the game. They didn't necessarily make these characters to have a press to win function with their abilities. Think of it more of like an augmentation. So every character has a passive. Bangalore specifically, when she gets shot at, she gets a huge movement speed buff. Then she has a tactical ability, which you can see as the Q on the bottom of the screen. That's the smoke. So you essentially have 3 smoke grenades that come out of a launcher, and you get 2 essential rounds of that. And then her ultimate ability is an artillery strike. So you have the ability to both use the tactical aspect of one or the damage aspect of the other, but it isn't so overpowering that you don't have the opportunity to still hit your shots and get those eliminations.
And we saw a lot of this within Europe, and anybody who's been keeping track of Apex Legends streams, you know that Bangalore works very, very well with the Bloodhound, which is also a part of the roster here for Shroud. As we see, I believe it's Skadoodle there onto the Bloodhound. And what that does is when you have that smoke grenade coming out with the Q from Shroud, he has the opportunity to use, I believe, Beast of the Wild is the name of his ultimate, see through it and hunt people down with an increased mobility. It's one of the most common pairings that we see today within Apex Legends. That being said, we're 8 days into the meta development here, so we can probably expect a lot more as time goes on. But for now, Shroud using an RE45, not a gun you see people pop off with very often, but it's Shroud. So 2 kills here for the squad.
This thing chucks bullets. Cool. Sounds good.
Mission accomplished. All the boxes have been checked here for Shroud's wish list.
We got to see the Prowler skin for just a moment, and then he switches it for the Spitfire, your favorite.
Yeah, the large ammunition is part of the reason I do adore the Spitfire, along with the opportunity to be heavy bullets rather than the devotion with the energy bullets. Energy bullets, one of the lowest, and man, look at that tracking here. Just a couple of jukes, a little Wazdoing out from his opponent, but Shroud is able to sniff it out very, very quickly. And then look at that flank. My goodness here. What is that, 5 kills over the past 30 seconds here?
Doesn't matter. You see a body and they're going to go down if Shroud's on the enemy team. Does a great job there getting himself something. Now he's going to go swap over to the wingman, and there is what you were talking about a little bit earlier is once you get the wingman into the hands of individuals that have that precise movement, good things are bound to happen no matter what's going on.
Yeah, I only brought up Siegel in that circumstance just purely based on when I think of him, for some reason I have McCree in my head over and over again, and that very much is that gun. But in this situation, yeah, Shroud is clearly a very, very skilled shooter when it comes to the wingman. Probably a little bit of that deagle practice he's had in the past. Look at DrDisrespect, though.
Literally one shot.
The rivals.
No shield.
DrDisrespect making it no secret he wants to take down Shroud in this tournament. especially after Shroud said that DrDisrespect didn't have a chance.
I'm doing it.
I'm healing.
Didn't even, little video that we've been showing all day, didn't even care about who was on his roster. Who's on his team? Nah, doesn't matter.
Not important.
Yeah, and it's not like those are names to scoff at, right? That's a very big thing to point out here. Is he looked at that team, even with DrDisrespect, and was like, with members like this and others with a background within shooters and battle royales, just confidence being displayed. And for now, though, when looking at least at what we've been able to glance out of the two, it does feel like at least the pacing and tempo set by Shroud seems to, if the trend of Europe kind of carries over here to North America, be working out better here for a couple of points.
5 of the 3 teams are running Bangalore Wraith.
Interesting to be able to see those two together. I'm not surprised to see Bangalore and Wraith purely based on the conversation we had earlier over mid-game characters who have skirmish capabilities that are going to be efficient within the mid-game. Both of those thrive in those environments, and considering we're looking more towards the kill potential opportunities for the scoring system in this format, I'm not too surprised to see that that's where people are headed.
They're 2 legends that definitely are capable of repositioning and finding an opportunity out of that reposition. Specifically with the Wraith, it's a very easy outplay. I talked about it a little bit earlier. If you have to pick one character in every game that kind of is your highlight character, the one that you're going to have all the Twitch clips for, and that's going to be Wraith in a lot of these ways. Because of her ability to reposition, because of the speed boost that she gets with both of her abilities, it's a great opportunity for you to kind of get a nice little flank, pop the mouse cursor on the heads, and get yourselves those eliminations.
And folks, if you are watching these streams and you're like, man, they cut away from Shroud, that's my boy, why'd they cut away from him? Hey, every single one of these players is streaming live on their Twitch channel. You can go and tune into them. So be sure to follow. You can see the URL of whoever we are watching up in the upper left at the moment. Be sure just to check around that Apex Legends category. A lot of fantastic streamers there right now.
They're fighting over here, though.
There is a little black circle extension over on the right of your screen that has a list of every single player who is competing today.
Can we also just comment on DrDisrespect's webcam right now, in that he's literally floating inside of a Wraith portal?
It is pretty sweet.
He's got so many good scenes. I'm excited to see them all as we cut around today. Let's actually listen in to his team and see how they're strategizing.
Placing a portal.
On me. One down.
Coming in, dude.
They got pulse?
Yep.
Bloodhound up top, I think.
Trash, he's just going in. I need him.
He's definitely up here.
He's up out. He's up out here. Knock him.
Let's go, dude. Yo,
The whole squad.
gold R301.
Doc, you want that R301?
I got one already.
Because I don't really want it.
It's gold. Holy shit. Oh my god, can I just get up here, please?
You can still take it if you want the gold
Yeah,
one.
I'll take it. Skull piercer rifle,
up here.
precision choke
Gotta
up here.
hop up
Just
here.
FYI.
Choke.
Okay.
Yo, good work on that damn team, dude. Wrecked.
Taking a moment to heal.
Need to recharge my shields.
Where's that gold?
I'm going.
Did you grab it?
Is it upstairs?
It's still there. He's on the outside balcony, northwest corner.
Northwest corner. Gotcha.
Now, we mentioned that 5 of the teams are running Bangalore Wraith. A bit of overlap here. 5 of the teams are also running
gonna hit the
Bloodhound
screen
Bangalore. So we talked about the synergy between those players. Right
there
now,
was
those
a
are the
fight
top
over here.
3
On me.
picked legends: Bangalore, Bloodhound, and Wraith.
I think it's fair to say that, we, again, not trying to talk about more about the Bloodhound and the Bangalore and the synergy between those two, but then also when considering the other two because of the mid-game pressure that they provide, but then lastly, Wraith within a composition of all those 3 are together, she still provides enough team utility and mobility within the portal and her ultimate that I feel like she makes up for some of that maybe utility you would expect in that 3rd character role, compositionally speaking here for these teams. So I feel like, if I was to give a cookie cutter comp here for week number 1, it feels like it's got to be that, right? You have Bloodhunter, Bangalore, and 3rd up with the Wraith.
Makes a lot of sense. Go check in with Kings Canyon team, who right now, you'll be looking at the kills. We got, what is it,
All right, gentlemen.
Richard at 1, we got Ninja at 2, we got Dizzy at, how many is it, Jump?
He's got 15, boys. I told you, it's gonna be the Disney show today. This man is an absolute monster. By the way, I would love to find a place to actually pick up that little knife at a.
Would you like an heirloom crate?
That would be an heirloom crate would be fantastic. But taking a look, we have 4 squads left, 11 players. That's 8 potential that they can eliminate, and already we're seeing Dizzy at 15 eliminations.
He is absolutely racking them up. We've seen a few people that have the heirloom crate. Very rare crate to get. The highest rarity, more rare than legendary. And right now, Wraith, the only character with an heirloom skin.
It's hard to get the turbo, like fully get it. Like all that stuff is crazy.
The only way you can get a melee weapon skin.
A melee.
Melee.
Where's my melee?
I like to have. We just had our melee. It was sandwiches.
One thing we should note, though, Dizzy is clearly a lethal target and somebody we have to keep a closer eye on throughout the entirety of this tournament, is the fact that they have ended up losing King Richard.
They have.
So being a 2 versus 3 looking forward might be a problem at the back end of this game. We still have 11 people within this roster. You know, I feel like at this point we're heavily relying on that skill shooting capability that you have already highlighted there out of Dizzy, right? You know, I'm not taking away from Ninja. The guy is very good at battle royals as well, but it's clear Dizzy is setting the tone right now, and he's got to take that momentum and carry through over this next skirmish because they have someone here around this hook.
He is put in a pretty advantageous position right now because he's got a legendary armor. He's got a legendary armor as well as an epic helmet. So he's going to get the maximum damage reduction across the board, which is going to help him out a whole lot. And though we do on his stream actually see him run Wingman a lot, he's actually decided to go for something like the Spitfire. So he's got more rounds in the chamber, which gives him, hilariously enough, more of an opportunity to 1v2, to 1v3, and immediately he's going to point, he's going to click. That's going to be elimination number 16 if he can get the final confirmation on that. He's going to try to fall down. There's a couple members left alive. He's going to have to be forced to phase and look around to see if he can find anybody, but another elimination for him.
Yeah, it was a very good job as well, as you saw with the tracking, being able to stop the kick of the Spitfire, and again, coming through, just lasering that down. Dizzy able to rid of Spectre. I do believe that there should be a third here out of this roster for Ninja and Dizzy.
No, he was able to get him out. When you see the bleed out on the top of the kill counter, that means that they're able to secure all 3 of them, and immediately that's 2 kills for him. That's 1 for Ninja, and they're going to have some pretty good spots.
Go hop in with Ninja. See how things are going. Same team, same fight, just a slightly different perspective here.
Should be noted that we are looking at a very tense circle as well at this point in time here for Ninja and friends. The fact that the corridor is moving in very close into the Cascade area and into that river section is really going to be able to set them back. So it's important that they keep together as a unit. More importantly, just don't get pinched in. This is easy to get 3, 4, 5-man team, or excuse me, not 5-man team, but 5 teams come in and pinch you.
Oh, really good shots are going to have to come out from Dizzy right now because they are actually, in what I think to believe, kind of one of the worst spots that you can be in when you don't have the high ground. When you find yourself at the bottom of this little ravine, you find yourself at such a disadvantage because they can essentially peek over the edge, and there's really not much that you're able to do as a result. And so they go ahead, they go back, they don't engage, and now they find themselves on even ground. There's a couple shots going off. He hasn't broke it just yet. Ninja does a really good job at throwing down the tactical smokes. They're from the Bangalore, and they're going to try to see if they can loop around and try to have it full clip in the ammo. That's going to be a lot of shots. A dink, a knockdown for him, but they're not all done yet.
I think the biggest thing to note there, too, is Dizzy not having an instant reload is due to the gun. Using the iframe after getting flanked and pressure behind, Ninja's got to be able to get that pressure in the downtime. Comes through, flanks him on the side, calls it a day, and look at that. We found ourselves a new champion, and maybe rightfully so.
And the best part about all of this is, I can hype up Dizzy the whole time, but if you listen to the communication that him and Ninja are going through throughout all of this is, I'm going to go here, you're going to go there, I'm going to hit a shot, you're going to hit a shot, champion banner pops up, they get the dub.
Yeah, like even at that last skirmish, right, we saw Dizzy clearly at a bad spot. He had a flank on a guy, or a guy flanks him that he doesn't know if he can deal with. Already burnt a little bit of bullets on the Spitfire, but in that time where he's able to heal, calling out where he is, drop a couple of pings, and Ninja with a clean flank.
And we saw the first game we saw secured over in Europe was like a 29 kill game. This one definitely 20 plus. We can go jump on in with Team MDK. This is Ammunition, Beanan's Little Lexi.
Jesus, the loot, man.
They've played a few games already and not had all that much luck. I think they've been getting some rough drops, but they'll be playing from a little bit from behind here.
I hear a team underneath me.
They are
but I'm kind of
pretty distant from the center of the circle at this point, actually landing over towards that Thunderdome section a little bit that you were highlighting earlier. But not going to be pressure for the circle for some time. It's just whether or not they can actually survive these early corridor fights. And look at that. Already you can set the tone. Good nade there. Good couple of shots out from the wingman. Oh, but a flank. The Pathfinder advantage using the grapple up, and she clutches it out here.
She has no health.
Ammunition just nailing it there.
Game.
Behind us, up here.
You hear the call-outs coming out. Concise communication, something that I think everybody thus far has done a really good job at it, making sure that they know exactly where things are.